Okay, so we'll start. Everyone, say with me, okay? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnana Timirandhasya.
Om Jnanasya
Jnanajana Shalakaya.
Jnananjanashalakaya
Chakshurunmilitam yena.
Urmilitam yena
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Namo Vishnupadaya.
Namo Vishnupadaya
Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale.
Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swami Niti Namine.
Swami Niti Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve.
Namaste Saraswati Deve
Gauravani Pracharine.
Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesha Sunyavadi.
Kesha Shunyavadi
Paschatya Deshatarine.
Paschatya Deshatarine.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda.
Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Advaita Prabhutara
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Asadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Okay, so today we are going to be reading two moral stories, and they are like comics. So we are going to be reading them. So first we'll read this one. It is called Mice Ate the Iron. So do you know which animal the mice is?
A mice is like a mouse.
Yes. So let's read now. So once there was a rich merchant named Janardhan. So you see this man over here. He is a businessman. He sells things and he earns money, and he was very rich. So unfortunately, his business became very poor and he lost all his money. He was also heavily in debt. So he sold everything that was in his house. So because his business, his work, it became very poor, he wasn't able to earn money and he lost all his money. He didn't have any money left. So he sold everything in his house. Like, for example, the chair that Om is sitting on, if that was his, then he sold everything in his house. His house was totally empty. He just had a house to live in. He sold everything in his house. The only thing left with him was his big iron weighing machine. He did not want to sell it as it belonged to his ancestors. So he went to see his friend Lakshmi Nandan, who was also a trader like him. So this person over here, his name is Lakshmi Nandan, and he is Janardhan's friend. And Lakshmi Nandan is also a merchant who sells things and earns money just like Janardhan. So Janardhan says to his friend, I have a weighing machine which I would like to keep with you. Will you keep it for me till I return? Then Lakshmi Nandan says, of course, I will keep it for you. You can be sure that it will be safe with me. I shall give it back to you when you return. So what is going on here is that Janardhan is giving his weighing machine to his friend Lakshmi Nandan, and Lakshmi Nandan takes it, and he said that when Janardhan comes back, he will give it back to him. Next, Janardhan thanked Lakshmi Nandan and went on his journey. So now Janardhan has given his weighing machine to Lakshmi Nandan, and now he's going to his journey. After many years of traveling and doing trade, so trade is giving something and then getting something in the back. So if I give you some wood, then you will give me something back. For example, some money, like that. That's called trade. You give something and then you get something. Janardhan collected a lot of wealth and returned to his old friend Lakshmi Nandan. So many years later, Janardhan, he earned lots of money by doing trade, and he collected lots of wealth. And now he came back to his old friend Lakshmi Nandan. My dear friend, I have come to collect my very dear object, my ancestral weighing machine, to start my new business. So Janardhan now came back to his Lakshmi Nandan to get back his weighing machine. And let me ask this question. Do you know what ancestors are? Do you know who ancestors are?
No, Mataji. No, Prabhuji.
So ancestors are people. So before you took birth, you had parents, right? You have parents who gave you birth. Now your parents also have parents which gave your parents birth. So when it goes even more like that, then you have some people in your family that had died before you were even born. So those are called ancestors. So did you understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Let's move on. Lakshmi Nandan said now. Janardhan is asking for his weighing machine now. So Lakshmi Nandan said, I don't know how to tell you this. Something bad has happened. I kept your weighing machine in the store. There are a lot of mice in the house, and they have eaten a lot of things from my house. One day I found that they had eaten your weighing machine too. I am really sorry, but what could I do? So now Lakshmi Nandan, he is saying to his friend that all the mouse ate his weighing machine. Okay? So think about it. The weighing machine is iron, and mice ate that. According to what Lakshmi Nandan is saying, the mice ate that. Janardhan was surprised to hear Lakshmi Nandan's words. He is lying to me. Let me teach him a lesson. So Janardhan got to know that Lakshmi Nandan, his friend, is lying to him. So that's why what he did was, he thought to teach him a lesson. Now Janardhan is saying, please don't feel sorry about it. If mice ate my weighing machine, what could you do? It was not your fault. This only shows nothing lasts forever. Please forget about it and relax. So now Janardhan is saying that it is fine. So Janardhan is now saying that it is fine that the mouse ate the weighing machine. Next, if as he was going, I'm going to the river to bathe in it. Will you send your son with me to look after my clothes while I bathe in the river? Otherwise, rats will eat my clothes too. So Janardhan is asking Lakshmi Nandan for Lakshmi Nandan to give his son for that time, so that his son can look after the clothes, so rats don't eat that also. Lakshmi Nandan became happy. He believed me. If I don't send my son, then he might get suspicious. Let me send my son. So now Lakshmi Nandan, he is thinking that Janardhan thought that yes, mice actually ate the weighing machine. Now he's thinking that to send his son with him, otherwise he will think that yes, I did steal it. Now, after taking a bath in the river, Janardhan took Lakshmi Nandan's son to a nearby cave and closed it with a big boulder. So, now Janardhan took a bath in the river and now took Lakshmi Nandan's son to a cave. Do you know what caves are? Does anyone know what caves are?
Kids?
Cave.
No.
So caves are like a huge hole in the earth. It can so in that it can be big or small, and in that it's like a huge hole, and usually it's like out of rock. Okay, so it will be very like circulation there, and there are things in there. It's like a hole in the earth. It's like that. So Lakshmi Nandan put Janardhan put Lakshmi Nandan's son inside that cave and closed it with a big boulder. So can you tell me what a big boulder is?
Boulder is like a big giant rock.
Yes, that's very good. Now Janardhan came to his friend Lakshmi Nandan, and now he is saying to Lakshmi Nandan that, oh, something very terrible has happened. When I was taking bath, your son was sitting on the bank of the river. Just then, a hawk swooped down and carried him off before I could do anything. Oh, I'm sorry, I could not save your son. So now Janardhan is doing the same thing what Lakshmi Nandan did to him, and he put his son inside that cave, and now he is giving an excuse that big hawk swooped down and took his son with him. Now he's saying that's a lie. How can a hawk carry off a 12-year-old boy? You're cheating me. You are a liar. So now Lakshmi Nandan obviously knows that he is lying, and now he's saying that he is a cheater and he is lying. Now Lakshmi Nandan is saying, I will take you to the king and get the truth out of you. Now he wants to take Janardhan to the king and to get the truth. Janardhan is now saying, if you don't believe me, then let's go to the king. He will convince you. Now, when they came to the court of the king is saying that Janardhan is a liar. You are a liar, Janardhan. How can a bird fly off with a boy? That's what the king is saying to Janardhan. Janardhan is saying, now, if a mice at Lakshmi Mayan's place can eat a weighing machine, then surely a hawk can carry off a boy. So now Janardhan is saying that if in Lakshmi Nandan's house, if a mouse can eat a weighing machine which is made out of iron, you know iron, right? You know iron, right?
No.
Iron. Okay, do you know metal?
Yeah, I know what metal is.
So metal are very strong things, right? So
Yeah.
iron is also that metal. Okay? So iron is also metal. So that weighing machine was made out of iron. Now the king is saying, "What do you mean? Can you please explain?" The king said. Now Janardhan explained to the king the whole entire story of how the theft happened. Then the king ordered Lakshmi Nandan to return the weighing machine to Janardhan and ordered Janardhan to return Lakshmi Nandan his son. So, because Janardhan told the whole truth story, then the king got to know that because Lakshmi Nandan had taken the very precious weighing machine from him, that's why Janardhan took his son from him. So he ordered them both to give what was not theirs to the other person. So the moral of the story is one has to use his intelligence in adverse situations instead of getting sentimental. So did you understand this story?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So can you tell me what you realized from the story, what you understood from the story?
I understand that Janardhan and Lakshmi Nandan both told lies.
Yes, so that's what happened in the story. But the actual thing that you should get to know from this story is that that you should never ever try to steal something from another person. Okay? Or you should never cheat any person. So, are you ready to move on to the next story?
Yes, Prabhuji. I said Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, so the next story that we are going to look at is the story of three fishes. Okay? So, the story goes like this. In a beautiful river, there lived three fishes who were good friends. The first one was intelligent, second one believed only in fate, and third one was smart. So, looks like this one is the first one, this is the second, and this is the third. So, and these all are friends. So, one day, these two fishermen came. They said, "Wow, there are so many nice and healthy fishes in this river. Tomorrow I shall come and catch them." So these fishermen were thinking that there are so nice fishes in the river and they will get a nice chance to catch the fishes. Now this fish, the intelligent one, is thinking, these fishermen will catch us tomorrow. So listening to this, the intelligent fish quickly went to her friends and warned them. "Listen, friends, let us go to nearby lake through the canal. Only then we can save ourselves. Otherwise tomorrow we will be caught in the fisherman's net." So this fish, she is very wise and intelligent, and she got to know that the fishermen will catch them. So now she's telling them to go to another place through to a nearby lake through a canal. So do you know what a canal is? So a
No,
canal is okay. So a canal is like a small, it's kind of like a river. It's like a drain area where there is water over there, and it can connect two areas of land. So that's what a canal is. Yeah, it will be connected to a bank of a river. So did you understand that?
Yes, Mother Babuji.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Oh, come on! What is the hurry in leaving from this river? Tomorrow, when the fishermen will come out, we will see what to do. We will find some way out. Now, this other fish, she's not thinking about what the fishermen will do, and she's careless. Now, let's move to the next. Both of you keep quiet. Nothing is in our hands. What is destined will happen. I am born and brought up in this river, so I'm not going to leave this place. So this fish believes in fate, so she's just thinking that whatever will happen will happen. Now the intelligent fish is saying that I am very worried and I'm going to the lake through the canal. So this fish is going to go to the lake through the canal. The intelligent fish swims through the canal towards the other lake. So she goes away from that lake. The next day, the fishermen who had seen the three fishes, came on that same spot, and they threw their net into the river. Many fishes were caught in that net. And then the fisherman took out the net filled with many fishes. This net was filled out with many, many fishes. So you can see there are so many fishes here, right?
Four fishes.
The fish who believed in fate, so this fish right here, lost all hopes of survival. So she now doesn't even think she's going to survive anymore. But the smart fish controlled her breath as if dead. The fisherman thought that it's already dead, so who will take such a fish? This is a smart fish, okay? So the smart fish, it stopped breathing. So when you stop breathing and you be very quiet, it kind of feels like you are dead, right? Because you're not moving at all, right? So that's what the fish did, and the fisherman, no, and the fisherman. Now let's see what happened next. So the smart fish controlled her breath as if, yeah. Then the fisherman picked up the fish which was acting as if dead and threw her back in the river. So this fish, the smart one, she was acting as if she was dead, and she got thrown back into the river because she was waste. In this way, the intelligent fish and smart fish saved their lives. So both of the two intelligent and smart fish, they both saved their lives. Moral: let any problem come your way, use your brain and you will find the way. So this is also a moral plus a rhyme. So let's read that again. Let any problem come your way, use your brain and you will find the way. Now let's move on to another story.
There are so many stories. Are we just reading 2 stories or 3?
We will read a few more. Okay.
Okay.
So do you want to listen to Krishna's pastime?
Yes, Babuji.
Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. So we'll look at this. This is of Krishna's pastimes. This one. Naughty Krishna's daily activities. So when Krishna was small, he was very naughty, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So now this kind of story will tell you what he used to do every day. So in the morning, Mother Yashoda sings Krishna's glories and wakes him up. And then, after waking up Krishna, Mother Yashoda, with great love and affection, breastfeeds him. After bathing Krishna, Mother Yashoda dresses her darling son with beautiful silken robes and ornaments. Krishna's friends also assist Mother Yashoda in decorating him. So now he would wear his dress, that very good dresses. And Krishna loves cows, so he will playfully hold their tail and run behind them. Cows have tails, right? So Krishna would hold them and he would run behind the cows. Krishna, Balaram, and all the cowherd boys steal butter from neighboring houses. The gopis love to watch them steal butter and pretend to get angry. So the gopis, they used to churn butter, right? Out of milk, they'll take milk, and it takes a lot of effort to churn butter, but they'll do it, and they'll hang it like you can see, it's very high, right? And Krishna is standing on something over here to get up there. So they used to watch them steal the butter, and then in the end they will pretend to get angry that they stole the butter. And Krishna happily distributes the stolen butter to the monkeys. So these monkeys, there were lots of monkeys in Vrindavan. So Krishna used to steal the butter. He himself used to eat, and he used to make the monkeys also eat. And Krishna expertly unites the calves and sets them free to drink their mother's milk. When the cowherd men sees this, they come running behind Krishna, but he easily escapes. So Krishna, obviously Krishna likes the cows, right? And the calves. This story had told. So, because he doesn't want to see the calves away from their mother, that's why he will remove the calves from their ropes, and they will go to their mother and drink milk.
It says close. It says
What?
close. It says close. I'm not. Just make something.
So then, when Krishna cannot find butter in the houses of the gopis, he passes urine on the clean floor of the house. Krishna teases the young maidens of Vrindavan who carry butter pot on their head. So there were many young maidens of Vrindavan. They used to carry pots filled with butter on their head to places. So he used to tease them. And in other houses, if Krishna cannot spot the butter pot, he pinches the neighbor's kid and runs away, leaving the poor kid alone. That is very naughty. Flute is Krishna's constant companion. All the cows and cowherd friends of Krishna are attracted to the sweet melody of Krishna's flute. So Krishna, did you see Little Krishna?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So in there, you always saw that Krishna had a flute, right? And he used to play his flute, right?
Yes, Mataji. He did.
So here also, in actual also, he used to play his flute a lot. So in the back time, he was Lord Ram, right? And he used to always have his bow and arrow. But in this time when he was Krishna, instead of having bow and arrow, he had flute. When Krishna goes to the forest to play, he imitates various birds and animals. So, can you tell me what imitates mean?
It's act like it.
Can you say that again?
I don't act like it.
Yeah, that's true. So you can see here, there's a bird flying, and Krishna is acting like it, like to fly. And there's a frog here, and Krishna is also acting like that. And there's a monkey, and Krishna is hanging on the tree, and he's also doing that. Krishna is so engrossed in playing with his friends that he forgets his lunchtime. Mother Yashoda calls out to Krishna, Krishna, please come home. It's lunchtime. We are all waiting for you. So, Krishna, he was so attracted to playing with all his friends that he needed to be called home to eat lunch. Just like the village boys, Krishna plays gulli danda with his friends. So there's a game called gulli danda, and he used to play that with his friends. In the evening, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and Mother Rohini eagerly wait for Krishna to return home from the forest. So, Krishna was a cowherd boy, right? And he used to take cows to the forest so that they can eat grass and then produce milk. So, when he used to do that, he also needed to take care of the cows in the forest. So, that's why he had to stay there the whole day, and in the evening, he would come back home. Next day, early in the morning, Krishna again leaves for the forest with all the cows. All cowherd boys share their lunch with each other. Krishna Kanaya ki.
Yay.
So those are Naughty Krishna's daily activities. Now we'll look at some other Krishna pastime.
Yes, Mother. Yes, Mother.
1 minute. Okay. So we will look at the advent of Lord Krishna. Do you know what advent means?
I don't know what act means. I don't know what advent means.
Okay, so I'll tell you what advent means. Advent means Krishna was not a normal person, right? He was a supreme personality of Godhead, right?
Yes.
So he did not take birth like an ordinary human, right? He did not take birth. He appeared. So advent meaning like coming from somewhere to coming from somewhere to some place. Like he came from his dham, Golok Vrindavan, to the earth. So now we will look at the advent of Krishna. Once, about 5,000 years ago, it happened that the earth was overburdened by too many demonic personalities having taken birth in the royal families of many kingdoms. They amassed huge armies and made powerful political alliances with one another. So, can you tell me what demonic personalities mean?
That
Yes. So these people were there were people, but they were very bad. They were like demons, and demons are also very bad. So they were so bad that they were like demons. So Mother Earth was the presiding deity of the Earth planet. So Earth is not just a ball of land and water, right? There's a presiding deity for it. So Mother Earth, she is the presiding deity for it, and she is Mother Earth personified. Personified meaning anything like made into a person. Like this is like the most common, like death personified. That's Yamaraj, right? So here it is Earth personified, which is Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth. So she felt distressed by the burden. She turned herself into the shape of a cow and went up to the planet of Lord Brahma, the topmost of the demigods, to ask for help. So do you know who Lord Brahma is?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Lord Brahma has four, no, four heads and four hands, and sits on a lotus flower.
Yes, that's very true. And he also created the whole creation, right? He
Yes,
created the universe on the
he's,
order of Lord Vishnu.
he's the creator.
So the Vedic culture, which is the highest culture throughout the universe, values cow protection. So she felt confident that her chances of success in getting help would be enhanced by her having become a cow. So she appeared before four-headed Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes, telling of her plight. Lord Brahma was very concerned, but he did not know exactly what to do. So he decided to appeal the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Brahma now he is not knowing what to do. So now he is going to call the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Calling all the demigods and demigoddesses to accompany him, Lord Brahma went to the ocean of milk to pray to the Supreme Lord. In the highest part of the universe, there is an ocean of milk of a finer, more subtle quality that is almost spiritual. On this ocean of milk, the Supreme Lord Kshirodakashayi Vishnu rests upon his serpent bed formed by Anantashesha.
And then Krishna.
Yes. So Lord Brahma went there, and the demigods he came with all demigods. The demigods all chanted prayers glorifying Lord Vishnu, and then Brahma sat and silently meditated upon him. Then the Lord spoke to Brahma in his heart, telling him that he would come in his original form of Krishna and help planet Earth. He also said that the demigods should all take birth in the Yadu dynasty on the earth in order to participate in his pastimes. Brahma relayed this message to the demigods. So relayed meaning like saying the same thing that you heard. Back down on earth, it came to pass that Vasudeva and Devaki, who were to become the parents of Krishna, were united in marriage. There was a very great wedding procession after the ceremony. When Vasudeva set out for his home with his new bride Devaki, Devaki's older brother Kamsa drove the chariot. Everything was peaceful and nice until suddenly a voice spoke from the sky for all to hear. Kamsa, you are a fool. You are driving your sister's chariot, not knowing that the eighth child of this marriage will kill you. Kamsa was one of the demoniac personalities who had taken in the birth of this particular family. He did not hesitate. He was ready to cut off his own little sister's head then and there, in front of everyone, just to save himself from a possible danger in the future. He grabbed her by the hair and drew his sword. So now Kamsa wants to kill Devaki. Vasudeva had no weapon with him. He tried to save his new bride, but he had only his wits to use. He first tried to convince Kamsa by good logic and philosophy. "We are not these bodies, and that the soul never dies." So he's saying things from the Bhagavad Gita. So before Krishna said the Bhagavad Gita in the Kurukshetra battlefield, he already knew the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. But Kamsa did not care, so the only thing left for Vasudeva to do was to promise to hand over the babies as they were born. He was thinking, by then I will figure out something, but at least Devaki will be saved. Kamsa accepted this because he knew that Vasudeva was always true to his word. So being true to his word meaning that if you gave a promise, like if I said, yes, I will give you water after 5 minutes, then I will give you water after 5 minutes. Now, next. When the first baby was born, Vasudeva, true to his word, but with heavy heart, brought the baby to Kamsa. But Kamsa was so pleased with Vasudeva's honesty that he had a rare moment of compassion. "There is no need to give me this baby. The prophecy said that it would be the eighth child would kill me." Vasudeva took the baby home with him again, but he did not trust Kamsa. Sure enough, Sure enough, after Kamsa listened to all his advisors, he decided that actually any of the babies could be the one to kill him. He had a crooked heart, so he thought that the providence was also dishonest and the prophecy might not be dependable. So he went to Vasudeva and Devaki. He took the baby from them and and then he killed that baby. And each year Devaki gave birth to one child, and Kamsa killed it. Neither Devaki's tears nor good advice from well-wishing friends could dissuade him from these evil activities. In fact, it usually happened that people who tried to reason with Kamsa became his worshippers, so strong with his demoniac charm. Kamsa also made stronger alliances with other demons and increased his atrocities against the good kings and princes and the Brahmanas. After Kamsa had killed six of Devaki's babies, Devaki became pregnant again. This time she was filled with effulgence and gladness, and felt that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was within her. This was Balaram, who is the expansion of Krishna, and who in another form serves Krishna's form of Vishnu, as a serpent pet. He came first in the mood of serving Krishna, to purify the womb so that Krishna could come next. But Devaki did not give birth to Balaram. Krishna made an arrangement to transfer Balaram to the womb of Rohini, another wife of Vasudeva who had been sent to brother Nanda, the king of the cowherd village of Vrindavan. Balaram was therefore born in Vrindavan, and everyone thought Devaki had a miscarriage. Then Devaki became pregnant again with Krishna, and and Krishna took birth, and then she felt she had got tears of happiness with that, but and she got the Supreme Lord as her son. He turned himself into an ordinary newborn child, that is, one with two arms, and not formally dressed or decorated. As Krishna, he could let his parents love him as their little child, but not for long. Their parental affection caused them to feel fear for his safety. Since Kamsa had killed so many other babies in the night, before Kamsa could learn of the child's birth, prison doors mysteriously opened and the guards were asleep. Vasudeva carried the baby Krishna out into the night, where the flooding Yamuna river, so Yamuna Devi, she was flooding, like the river was flooding. So he went through the river, and as soon as the water touched Krishna's feet, there was a way for Vasudeva to walk through. He went to Nanda Baba's house, and taking that baby girl that they had given birth to, he left Krishna there and came back. Um, And then when he came back to the prison, everything happened back. All the prison doors closed again, and all their things, like the all their shackles all closed again. And Kamsa was so evil that he even tried to kill that baby girl. So after that, Krishna, he lived in Vrindavan with Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba. And so that was the advent of Lord Krishna. So that was our last story for today. Now we will read Bhagavad Gita. So today's shloka is 2.14. So we will read the shloka. You can repeat behind me. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkada. Shitoshna sukha dukkada. Agamapaino nityam. Agamapaino nityam. Tam stitikshva svabharata. Bharata. So this is the shloka that you will have to memorize for today, for this week, and we will say this again 3 times. Okay. Now we will say the translation, not 3 times. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O sign of Bharata. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So Om, do you want to recite the shloka? I see your hand raised.
Yes, Mataji, sorry, my iPad.
Yeah, that's okay. You can recite 2.14. The shloka is on the screen.
Matra sparshastu kunte. And the meaning is, O Arjuna, happiness and distress are like summer and winter season. We shall arrive. They arise from our sense perception. One can learn how to tolerate without getting disturbed.
Okay, thank you, Om. Please make your video of you reciting the shloka
Okay,
and
Mataji.
translation, and also translation, and send it in the video and send it in the group.
Okay, Mataji.
So I'll explain the shloka a little bit quickly. So here Krishna is saying to Arjuna, O son of Kunti, and that is Arjuna, that the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress. So non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress means that happiness happens in a little amount of time, and then after some time it's distress again. And so they keep changing. Like one day you'll be very happy, the next day something will happen and you'll become very sad. So here they're compared like the winter and summer seasons. So right now, for example, if it is winter, if it is summer, then later on winter will happen. And winter is like whichever season that you don't like is like summer, is like distress, and obviously you have to tolerate it. So what this shloka is saying, that you have to learn how to tolerate it without being disturbed. So who is Nihal P? No, they're not. They're not. Okay. So, you can send your video reciting the shloka and the translation in the group. Okay? And so that's it for this class.
Okay, Mataji.
Do you have any questions from today's class, Om?
No, Mataji.
Okay, so remember to send your video, and that's it for this class. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So we'll say Vanchakalpatarubhyascha mantra. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। हरे कृष्णा।